boy Darren the Black Man. This is my Daredevil 1 through 3. Just really a little deeper analysis of Daredevil Born Again right now and where it's going. So if y'all haven't watched my other videos, I discussed I'm a big time Daredevil fan. Have over 300 comics from range from the Silver Age all the way to the 90s to a little bit of the 2000s. And what this show is based off is a 2015 run with a Mark Waid run, which was pretty good, and they're pretty good from what I've heard. I I didn't really get this at that run because of that's when I was kind of out of I didn't really want to support Disney Marvel at that time because I mean they was doing like as in the comics. The movies were of course on point, but the comics were they was in a little state of limbo, and it since then it have gotten worse. So I kind of was out the loop on anything past 2013, as in new comics. The only closest comics I've had since then was the Ultimate Spider-Man little run to issue 11. With that being said, I kind of missed out on this. I know I've heard of some of the stuff happen, as in with Daredevil, no, not Daredevil, Kingpin becoming the mayor, which is you got a little bit of element in the new Ultimate run, the Ultimate Spider-Man run. So with that being said, with the show, it's all over the place. I can tell if people don't know, this show was supposed to be 18 episodes. And a lot of the stuff that's happening these first 3 episodes, some of the stuff being reused, some stuff being totally remade. So it's kind of you can kind of see there's some clunkiness to the story. There's some clunkiness to the to what the show wants to be. Like I don't like Daredevil. This is basic continuation of Daredevil from Netflix. So my my initial issues is Daredevil on Netflix. They knew how to kind of differentiate Daredevil, Mike Murdock from Daredevil, and it does seem like now this show is trying to mimic that instead of embrace embracing what Netflix was, then push it farther. It's almost like they're trying to give us exactly what Netflix gave us instead of enhancing what Netflix gave us. If that makes sense. Like it's some parts that's in episode 3, since it's spoilers, I could go and say it. Matt Murdock is devout Catholic. He's a devout Christian, you know, and to have him, and he's a great lawyer, but his most of his convictions come from his Catholicism, his upbringing. To have him go into a courthouse instead of a church was kind of weird to me. That was really weird. He doesn't really get too much solace in the courtroom like he does in the church. Actually, the courtroom is basing him trying to demonstrate his Catholicism in the legal sense in a way. I didn't really understand that having him being at the courthouse instead to me that's Disney not grabbing their nuts and say, all right, this we're gonna do what we came here to do. They didn't want to offend it at that point. I didn't like that choice of having them at the courthouse. That didn't fly right to me. For a point where he's in conflict with himself, it's better for him to be. To me, it's better for him to be trying to reconnect to his upbringing, his moral. That's where he gets his morality from. Is from his upbringing as a Catholic. I didn't really like that. And like now they trying to make the actual Punisher symbol as something nefarious, which is weird. Like why would the police follow somebody that's at, of all other vigilantes that's been in like the Netflix world and I mean the MCU world, the Punisher will be the last one the police will try to mimic. To me, they put a little in real world how we see in RL politics into there. That I didn't like that. Like the Punisher symbol in the real world would be it is something that like people embrace, like because like especially the Punisher in the real world, if that person exists in the real world, the last people who will be embraced in the Punisher will be the police. It will be people from from not in mainstream that will be, because like what he's doing is counter to what a police officer will believe in. They will see him as a lunatic, killing, taking the law into his own hands. They will not embrace that symbol like that. Yeah, that to me, like this is strictly somebody who see the world do not understand how the police officer will see the world in general. So they thinking because in real world, like people know that the punch like Frank Castle does not exist in the real world. So a dude, a police officer in the real world see might be a Punisher collector because in a way, in a way, Punisher. I know it's gonna sound hypocritical. Punisher will kind of be that fantasy that the dude like, all right, he is acting revenge on his family. But like but like if this was a Frank Castle in real life doing exactly what Punisher did in the comic books, the police would not like him. If that makes sense. Because here's the thing, believe it or not, police officers have escaped places they escape to too. Like it's a police officer do collect comic books. It's a police. I'm pretty sure there's probably some avid police officers that's a comic book head. So to me, it doesn't add up with how that world would be. The police officer would not if there was a real life Frank Castle running around here because his family died, going around here murking corrupt cops, murking mobsters, murking. I'm telling you, the police officers will not embrace him. To me, that just does not make sense. That to me, that's somebody that's not living the real world and not understanding how police officers will view that type of person. Not they not honestly, I don't think they really look at police officers as human beings, because if they did, they would know. Okay, Frank Frank Castle in real world would be an issue. So it's to me that's just it's somebody that they fundamentally do not understand that world, doesn't understand a police officer mindset, doesn't understand. They only understand things they heard of. They see somebody they don't like embracing Frank Castle symbol, and they have an issue with it. And that goes with how they change in the comics now. They changed Frank Castle's symbol and all this, and it became a corrupt. Just because they don't like the people who like him, and to me, it's just it sucks, man. Because like, where's the imagination? Where's the creativity? So I didn't like that. This last episode, really, it's gonna turn people off, especially diehard comic fans. It's gonna turn people off. They're not gonna give it much of a chance, and this goes along with the episode threes of the MCU Disney Plus shows, where they'll start good in the first, then they'll go off to another tangent, or they'll have to have some type of message which doesn't really drive with the world they building in, and like they to me, I think they kind of killed a little bit of the goodwill they did kind of have with some of the fans, that especially the diehard comic heads that kind of know, kind of see elements of what they grew up with, and then you can say that's nostalgia bait, and it might more likely is, you know. So I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna still give it a chance to. I'm gonna give it till at least episode 7, 8. But right now, it's a little choppy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I am digging on episode 3. I am digging that Vincent is getting some of his mojo back. He does have some of the, like him saying like, hey, he's thinking very pragmatic crime wise. Sometimes it's good as in criminal. Sometimes it's good to let other factions go at it a little bit until you then regain order. Because it's something it's something about, like, especially in crime, when you deal with a den of thieves, of people who are always constantly looking to up the ante of their power. They always looking at power dynamics and not really looking at the money anymore. To them type of folks, you kind of want, if you in another part, it's like you can see this in society. Like some elite need social conflict in order for them to better their status in life. I mean it's Machiavellian in a sense, you know. Like, to me, I think what he said about the chaos, like, you know, have a little chaos so you can have a more divine order, a stronger order. That will be what Kingpin would say. He will allow the hand of whoever elements that's in the city to do this and do that. The Russian mobsters and stuff. Let them fight out a little bit, so they never really could generate so much power to go against him. Because Kingpin's power relies on different factions, and he being the power broker, or him having he would have like connections to elsewhere, so other entities outside of New York, so he could always have that little power base where it'd be harder to take him out type situation. But like, so him regaining that power, to me, like a lot of people saying that he was kind of cooked in the first episodes, and I wish I kind of see that. Like, he's still going to marriage counseling. They him and Vanessa have like a weird relationship. They very it's more of not love, but more of a obsession, more power play. It reminds me, outside the incest side of it, but it reminds me of like the power dynamics between Cersei and Jaime, where like they will go out on their own, but they always come back together type situation, you know. So they relationship really based on each other's power, how they have social power in different avenues. So that doesn't bother me as much because I know it's gonna be a give or take in that relationship. Like, it's gonna be a time where, I mean, they cheat on each other, they do all kinds of crazy shit in the comics. You know, they they known for doing stuff like that. They just got a different love and stuff, and that would be how a villain. That's a definition of how like a villain situation would be, like a give or take, and it's very, the conflict is there always, but that kind of makes what Kingpin is, you know. Kingpin need. See, man, think about it like this: people who like desire so much of that power, it's always something lacking somewhere else where they trying to like. Cause here's the thing, like one of the scenes in the courtroom was the prosecutor was talking about like why heroes don't need a mask, but really honest got true corruption like Matt Murdock. I'm sorry, Kingpin. William have to his mask is his power. Like you take away that power, you see what he really is. He's basically a scared boy. No, same with Vanessa. You take away her power, she's a scared girl. That's why they always got to seek more power. So that part was good writing. Like those scenes with him, and on episode 3. Now episode 1 and 2, that's up in the air. I mean, I could see what people say like he was getting cucked in that, but this episode he kind of regained his power. He kind of, but the thing is, man, the problem with Disney, like when he finally regains that power, they show that he's in therapy, so he kind of have to give back that power. So it's kind of it take that. I wish they would have had that scene at a like them having dinner at the part where they were having dinner. They would have kept that scene going on there instead of them actually going to therapy, because to me that would have established like, yeah, it's a give or take, yeah, it's it's more nuanced than one might think, situation, type of situation, so them having that scene was basically saying like, okay, yeah, we gave you a little bit, this is the real Kingpin. But hey, he's got to go through the trauma again of seeing his wife and talking about his wife cheating. To me, that was just bad. That was just bad scene selection, in my opinion. That could have, and then like, I mean that I think that part would have been better with the dinner, like with the dinner scene. But what I did like the fact that I like the fact that the end of the episode 3. I'd say this: in the episode 3, a dude wearing a Punisher emblem, killing white tigers. This is spoiler. This is spoiler episode. So I mean, no, I ain't gonna have to say spoiler alert. I don't know if I didn't see any trailers, so I don't really know if that's actual Frank Castle from like John Baratheon. To me, that doesn't make sense for that Punisher to do that. It makes more sense for impersonator doing that and blaming Punisher. That will bring Punisher back out in the open. Now I'm not sure where they're gonna go with that. The court scenes didn't really bother me as I thought it would. I knew this was gonna be a slow move because they were pushing the go. And that trial happened fast, by the way. Like if y'all know anything about the legal system, like trials don't. It takes 3 to 6 months for them to actually go through with trials. So I don't know if they see that's the problem of like not having like saying the time frame with all this going on. It would be kind of nice to like actually know, okay, this is a time frame. I'm pretty sure. I think more shows need to start implementing like time, because like outside looking in, if you didn't know anything about the legal system, you're like, all right, you did this to a cop, allegedly. They arraign you, then they gonna have the trial right then and there. It don't work. Legal system does not work that way. It got to be a lot of. It's gonna be a couple months before they even get to that trial in general. That I don't know. I don't know why Disney have an issue with, and this is a Disney thing. I mean, actually, I ain't gonna even put that on Disney because like they have in like Game of Thrones and like a lot of these shows where it seems like things are moving fast, but things are actually it's a time frame of it. They don't really explain the time. They don't really not necessarily say them doing walking simulator for 12 hours. I'm not saying that, but like just give us all right, this scene, this happened at such and such a time. That to me, I think that would that would actually make this episode better. That would be an enhancement to this episode 3, I should say. Is if we had time frame from this because like you can't tell like there was a season change with the episode 1 and 2 where there was and then they said a year later, so there was a time frame like that situation that happened with on episode 1 with Bullseye and him shooting Foggy, you know, all that. To me, that year later, they could have did a little bit more with okay. They established that all right. That happened New Year's Eve. White Tiger interacting with the cops. That happened New Year's Eve. Okay, establish how long the trial when the trial have he getting rain. Okay, is this February? Because that all that stuff happening in all that stuff happening you know New Year's Eve. So late February, March, it would still be cold in New York more likely. Like right now, like it's just now starting to get warmed up or whatever. To me, they would establish that and kind of make it more procedural with a little taste of thriller in it, crime thriller. Like it's called legal drama, legal thriller, gangster psychological drama. It got all it's in that range. You can't establish a time frame, so we won't think okay, he get rain the week of New Year's. He's already in trial in the end of January. It doesn't. No legal system work that way. You gonna stay in that. You gonna stay in that. Especially killing a cop. You gonna stay in there for a good because they're gonna use the media. The system is designed to do that. They're gonna especially kill a cop, even if it's on accident. You know they're gonna gin up some hysteria. So I mean that trial will be 3 to 6 months minimum. They're gonna gather all the evidence. So to me that was a little bit unrealistic. But like if they were saying well we're gonna make this a speedy trial because you did kill a cop, something like that. That could have been established a little bit better. To me, they kind of sped through that and didn't really explain the time frame. And then it would actually gave more context. So I did have an issue with how fast the trial, how fast all that went. That's just not how it's going to work in real life. Hell, not even comics because it was times where somebody would get locked up on the comics and then you will not see them for 5 or 6 issues. So within the 5 or 6 issues, that could have been like 3 or 4 months or something like that. You know, it would be explained. It'll kind of be explained in that comic. Hey, this is what's going on here, and they'll do a recap and everything. But like that's one of the things I have an issue with. I that the Punisher symbolism, the cops holding, I have an issue with that. Um, I don't. I said this in my review in episode 1 and 2. The CG on the first episode really didn't bother me as much as bothered a lot of people, especially hardcore Daredevil fans, especially of the Netflix. I I expect a spectacle for the first episode just because they're trying to get people in. That CG wasn't the best. I'm not gonna sit up and say it was good. It just didn't bother me. I don't. I look at things. I'm more of a person. Look at okay, what are they trying to convey? What message are they trying to convey with the dialogue and everything like that? Like my biggest issue, if they didn't, they did that fight scene and like the story wasn't good, or you didn't see conflict between Matt Murdock and William during those scenes. I say that because they not actually playing their characters yet. Like Daredevil had probably two Daredevil moments. That was an end of first of episode one and the end of episode two. Everything else been Matt Murdock just using his super senses. That's my opinion. I mean, but like I I just didn't have the time frame, the not explaining it really. The imagery on Punisher, police officers they will not rock with that. Because like that's another thing about me. And that fight scene in the episode two was actually good until they showed a fucking cop have a Punisher symbol. That's weird. That's not gonna happen in that world. I mean, that's just not gonna happen. They could Punisher. If y'all don't know, Frank Castle is really kind of an outcast when it comes. He's like I would say He's an anti-hero, much like believe it or not Magneto. Who else? Sabretooth is an anti-hero to a point. You could say I almost say he's an anti-villain because he only people he don't see eye to eye with is Wolverine, and I could name a few like Juggernaut. You can kind of say is an anti villain, because I mean he just don't like Xavier, but like I'm going off on a tangent, but like there Punisher is that he's a true anti-hero where his morale he's right when it comes to identifying the enemy. He's treating crime like a Marine would. I ain't gonna say soldier because he's a Marine. That's difference, believe it or not. So he Frank on Frank is basically the anti. He's like if you don't understand, like different eras had different sentiment type situations where Captain America was a soldier. Like Captain America doesn't have any qualms killing somebody that's inflicting, that's oppressing other, like when I say oppressing, like actual oppressing, not this made up. Hey, you not respecting why I think I am or who I am or what. None of that shit. Just like actual like doing some bullshit like human rights, like actual human rights violations. He has no qualms on like taking folks out that he's a soldier. He believes that's the way he believes. He has his moral thing is he's gonna be less likely to take out Americans and like good like people that got the same value set as him, but as people that's about to threaten that value set or that not his moral standing. Now, I might even say moral standing. That's a bad term. The the American way type mentality. Now he's not no nationalist or anything like that, but like just people that want that value liberty and freedom. He's gonna be less likely to just go super crazy on them. But like somebody who's threatening it, like your Red Skull type person, or who some folks in the Serpent Society, like Serpent Society, he won't necessarily go all in on because they're Americans too. So he got like he's a soldier. And he's a patriot. So he got that type of vibe on him. So Frank Castle and other he has a mindset of see, because you have to look at Captain America got the mindset of the greatest generation. You know, he's a soldier. hearts and minds and stuff like that. He's trying to be the best symbol of our country, best symbol of just America, the red, white, and blue. But Punisher is jilted, like the inner workings of America, the mob and the crime and stuff, destroyed, put him in another space, and he's a cold war, he's essentially a cold warrior, a cold war type of dude. Like he was Mag Saw, like he was going to Vietnam, going in tunnels, doing all that stuff. So his mentality is totally different. Like getting dirty is not too big of an issue. And then on top of that, his family got killed. Like I wonder if Captain, this a story for this a argument for another day. But I just present the question. I wonder if you put Captain in, you put Steve in Frank Castle's position. I bet they got a what if on that. Would he be the same Steve? If matter of fact, I would say he probably, because if he didn't have no way of saving his family and that happened, and he went through the same, he went in that war with if they switched places, would Steve be the same Steve? That's a question for another day. I mean, y'all could talk about that in the comments if y'all in the comments. I said comments in the comments. Just something, just a thought. Because Frank Castle, he's a conflicted dude. I ain't gonna say he conflicted. He see things clearly, but like he conflicts people, like his fans. Because like is the story of revenge, even though he does kind of reform slightly later on. He kind of like chill out a little bit on his, because he's very, what's the word, stringent on his beliefs about like criminality or whatnot. So I don't I don't like the fact that the police is celebrating him in that world. Understandably, I understand police celebrating him in our world because he is fighting crime. He's a compelling character. See, people forget that. Like he Batman, to me, him and Batman are on the same side, but different ways of doing things. Because like Batman don't kill. He don't want to become the people that kill this. He got a whole moral thing on that. That's why he's the detective. You know, he don't want to cross that line. Frank Castle crossed that line. However, he does have. I wonder if he would have. If I don't know, I wonder. It's a really a good argument of who's actually right on that, because like crime, Batman's point, crime never really goes away, and you he's everybody. Both of them are breaking the law. They vigilantes. They both breaking the law, but Batman's doing. He's actually helping the law. Frank Castle is actually like, I don't know. You can make an argument he's helping the law too, because like he's getting rid of, but he's playing judge, jury, executioner. So that's a number. See, this was good writing though. So because like now you could break down the moral conjuries of both characters and everything. So to recap, I don't think that's actual John Barenthal Punisher doing that. I think he's being framed. He's being framed. Somebody that's a wannabe, then he's gonna have to come back and kind of clean that up. Because right in that trial, you could tell like a lot of them cops are corrupt. They had issues. They had conflictions. You saw in their face. So that's gonna be interesting, and that's gonna be interesting with Daredevil. There now with what happened, and By the way, the actor who played White Tiger, he actually died in real life. That the episode 2 was actually dedicated to him. So he died when this was getting made. So RP to him. I forgot his name. Matter of fact, let me get his name. Let me get his name. Let's see. Let me find the name. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Damn, my contact's drying up on me. I'm doing this on fly, so forgive me. All right. Am I missing it? Oh, Hector right here. Yeah, yeah. He passed away. Um, RIP. So I mean he passed away when this actually was like right in the middle of production of this. Because if y'all don't know, this been in production since 2020, late 2022. So yeah, RP to Kamar Reyes, Del Los Reyes. And I ended at that, man. Like, share, and subscribe. This is my spoiler. I probably missed a couple things. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. Before I even go, yeah. I missed the situation with like the what's going on with Foggy. Foggy in the comics, Foggy does fake his death a couple times. What game is this? Is that? Oh, this is New Warzone. Yeah, like I don't know. That looked like a cool game. Anyway, I got distracted. So Foggy does he does fake his death and stuff in the comics. So and Karen, like that's another problem I did have. They didn't really explain why Karen is leaving. They didn't really explain that. They just like and that came off bad. A lot of criticism on that, which that was warranted. So that's all I think. And then the new characters are people from the holdover of the 18 episodes. So what I did like about episode 3, like those characters that was like trying to dictate a lot of the power got kind of siphoned back to the main characters. Like they wasn't like they kind of took control of the scenes more compared to like episode 1 and 2. With that being said, I think I'm done. I broke it down from my standpoint as a comic head and an avid Daredevil fan. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Hit hit the like button. I just said that. So y'all have a nice night. Take day or night, whatever time you on. Take care.